Welcome guys to part 2 of English paper 2 for the year 2023 for the internal. So part 1, we covered the vocabulary and the rewrites. Now we move on to question 2. So in this lesson, we are just going to focus on comprehension and also how to get the points given a summary. Now, comprehension comes from the word comprehend. So to comprehend simply means to understand. So you are given a passage and you're told to go through the passage carefully. Then after that, make sure you understand the passage and you use your level of understanding to answer now the questions that comes after comprehension. So on this one, it depends on your level of understanding. There is no actual formula that I can give you. So my advice is that please make sure you just get your English to the next level. Make it a habit of at least spending 2 hours of speaking English and writing every day. With that skill, it is going to assist you to take your English to another level. So now let's have a look at this given passage. So question 2 comprehension will have 20 marks. Read the following passage carefully and answer the questions that follow. So this passage is about tigers. So let's go to paragraph 1. The tiger is the largest living cat species. It is territorial and generally a solitary predator, requiring huge adjacent areas to support its requirement for prey. So prey, if we look at for prey, we are looking at the ability of tigers to hunt other animals for food. Then we continue. The tiger usually hunts by night and preys on a variety of animals. It prefers fairly large prey such as deer and wild pigs. Healthy, large animals are avoided in most cases. After making a kill and consuming what it can, the tiger makes a deliberate attempt to hide the carcass from vultures and other scavengers so that another meal can be obtained. So carcass is just the remain or the dead body. Now we move on to paragraph 2. Tigers can get a kill by force from leopards and they sometimes eat carrion. So what does it mean by the word carrion? So carrion simply means a flesh of animal that is decaying. So flesh of animal which is decaying, something that is rotting. We continue. Skill in killing and obtaining prey is only partly instinctive, maternal training being essential for proficiency. So the skill in killing and obtaining prey is only partly instinctive. So the most of the skill comes from the maternal training. So that's what we are told. Now, what is meant by this word proficiency? So proficiency means to become good at a skill. So becoming good at a skill. That is to become proficient. For this reason, tigers raised in captive do not fare well if released into the wild. As the top predator throughout its range, the tiger plays a major role in controlling not only its prey population but also that of other predators such as the leopard. Now, for this sentence, we are looking at the role played by a tiger. So we are told it controls prey population but also other predators, not leopard only. Leopard is just an example in this sentence. So I'm trying to explain how you should be understanding the passage under comprehension. So you need to pay attention. Make sure you understand. Because someone may think The law that we are looking at here is about to control the prey population and leopards population, no, other predators. Then leopard is just given as an example because we are told such as. We move on. The tiger resorts to man-eating owing to disability caused by age or injury. So we are told, number one, disability caused by age or injury, scarcity of prey, acquisition of habit from the mother, defense of its cubs or kill. So a cub, we are looking at an infant of a tiger. We move on to number 3. When the tigress is expecting her cubs, she seeks out a suitable den, well hidden by thick vegetations. Okay. From there, the tigress now enjoys a view down onto a plain with a water hole that attracts other animals. She selects this spot so that she can hunt for food without being far from her cubs. From birth, the cubs receive lots of attention. Throughout their infants, their mother cradles them between her paws, nuzzles them and licks them as she murmurs softly. When the cubs get older, they begin to play hide and seek and fight mock battles. So to cuddle simply means like holding close in arms to show love. So that is to cuddle. We move on to paragraph 5. Among tigers, aggression is rare. For instance, a young tiger may wander into the territory of another tiger and bump into the resident male. Now, if you look at wander, there is this wander where we have the spelling where we have A, and there is this wander where we have O. So the one with O, to wander, is like you are surprised. I wondered. Then where we have A, to wander is like to move without direction, moving aimlessly. Then we continue. Deep growls, blood, cuddling, roars, and fierce nose-to-nose snarling ensure that when the older male shows his superiority, the younger one will roll onto his back with his paws in the air as a sign of submission, and confrontation is over. So, deep growl, this one is a sound produced. So this is just the sound produced to show excessive emotion. Like somehow, like if an animal, let's say, is upset, there is that sound that comes out of its mouth to show its emotion. We move on to paragraph 5. Poaching has been responsible for keeping the number of tigers low during the past 3 decades. Forests and grasslands are habitats for prey, but these are sadly cleared for agriculture. Reduction in prey population results in greater dependence on livestock and consequent retribution from man. Fortunately, the status of tiger has aroused widespread empathy, and its cause has received substantial international support. So the word retribution simply means like the act to take a revenge. So we can just say to take a revenge. So since men have been poaching animals, so it's like now the tigers have now come up with this retribution, this act to take over, meaning a revenge. Now, what of the empathy? So the word empathy is just the, I can say, ability to sense other, we can say, people's or animals' feelings. So that ability where you are able to sense somebody's feeling, if somebody is passing through something that is bad at the moment. We move on to paragraph 6. The Worldwide Fund for the Nature has been a pioneer and the largest contributor along with corporate donors and non-government organizations. The Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species is entrusted with the task of controlling illegal trade in tiger derivatives. Now, to drive simply means to make something from another thing. Now, for the last paragraph, in the 1970s, the trade in tiger skins was outlawed. So, to outlaw simply means to protect using laws. Like you are forbidden from doing something by setting a law. For example, you don't have to do this. If found doing this, the punishment is this or that. Nevertheless, tiger skins are still highly valued for display and for worship as are claws and teeth. Skulls, bones, whiskers, meat, and blood have long been used by Asians, especially the Chinese, in medicine, potions, and even wine. There are persistent practices of using tiger parts as medicine or tonics despite scientific evidence being contrary to their efficacy. Every 12th year of the Chinese calendar is the year of the tiger, and children born in it are considered lucky and powerful. So persistence means to continue doing something that is hard or that is unpleasant, for example, for you. Then efficacy simply means the ability to, so we can say ability to a desired results, like what you are expecting. You put in some ability for you to get a certain or a desired result. For example, you put in a bit so that you get a 1 in English. So that is efficacy. So the bits that you're putting in to get a desired result. Now let's have a look at this question. In each of the questions 1 to 9, select the best answer from the 4 options provided. Indicate your answer by drawing a circle around the letter on the question paper as in the example given below. If you change your mind, cross out the initial choice very neatly, then circle your revised answer clearly. For question 10, answers as instructed. The tiger is generally a solitary predator, so the given question has been answered for us. Now we move on to paragraph 1, question 1. The tiger requires huge adjacent areas in which to. So now we've gotten the concept or the meaning behind the given passage. It's about we can just say the life of a tiger. So how it feeds, on what it feeds on, then how it survives, plus the benefits from a tiger, and so on. Now, whenever you are answering a question and you are given the paragraph, you have to go back to the paragraph. First, understand the question, then go back to the paragraph. So look at the question. The tiger requires huge adjacent areas excuse me, in which to. So we want to look at the importance of why the tigers requires huge adjacent areas. So let's go back to paragraph 1. So paragraph 1, we are told the tiger is the largest living cat species. So if you go in biology, under classification, the tiger is a cat. It is territorial and generally a solitary predator. predator requiring a huge adjacent areas to support its requirements for prey. So the whole thing is to support its requirement for prey. So let's go back to the multiple choices and look at the answer. So A, establish its territorial supremacy dash to hunt for animals to feed on, rear its offspring, then support its solitary requirements. So the answer is B, because we are looking at for prey. So to prey is to hunt and in terms of feeding. So hunt for animals to feed on. We move on to now question 2. According to paragraph 2, this time is paragraph 2, tigers raised in captive do not fare well if released into the wild because they have not. So we are given an example of if, for example, a tiger were to be raised in a captive. In a captive is where it is not given a chance to to move out, like in prison. So now, how does those tigers behave, or how could they behave if they were now released into the world? So let's go back to paragraph 2 to get more insight. So paragraph 2, tigers can get a kill by force from leopards, and they sometimes eat carrion. Skill in killing and obtaining prey is only partly instinctive, mental training being essential for proficiency. For this reason, tigers raised in captive, this is now where our answer lies, do not fare well if released into the wild, as the top predators throughout its range. The tiger plays a major role in controlling. Okay, so look at the point here. Maternal training being essential. So the most important training comes from the mothers, because the word maternal has to do with the mothers. So that is where the hunting habit comes from, and it makes sense because these cubs spend most of their young age with their mothers. So let's go back to our question. So A, fathers to train them to be proficient in killing and obtaining prey. Maternal training to enable them to challenge other predators. Mothers to train them to be highly skillful hunters. So the answer is C. I don't want to repeat maternal. I'm going with mothers because it means that you have understood the meaning of maternal. So for a case like this one, avoid using answers that have the exact words in the passage and on the multiple choices. So mothers to train them, and it's about proficiency. And if you remember, proficiency, I said, is about a skill, becoming good in one skill. We go to question 3, paragraph 2. As the top predators throughout its range, the tiger plays a major role in controlling. So remember, I talked about this. So I said, as the top predator throughout its range, the tiger plays a major role in controlling not only its prey population. Okay, so number 1, it controls prey population. Number 2, other predators. I'm not going to focus on the leopard because leopard was just given as an example. So let's look at the multiple choices. A, its own population and other predators, its prey population and that of other predators. So the answer is B, because C, not only its population but also that of leopard. So here they have specified, but according to the question, leopards were just examples. We move on to question 4. Which one of the following statements is not given as a reason for becoming man-eaters according to paragraph 2? So, paragraph 2, excuse me, paragraph 2. So, the tiger resorts to man-eating owing to, number 1, we are given disability caused by age. So, age, injury, scarcity of prey, acquisition of the habitat from the mother, defense. So let's look at the answer that is not on the list above. So let's check. So which one of the following statement is not given as reason for becoming man-eaters according to paragraph 2? So disability resulting from old age, this one is given. Inheritance, the habit from its mother, it's given. Protection of its cub or cow is given. Protection of its cub. So the answer should be scarcity of other predators. Let me go back first. So here we are told scarcity of prey, but here it's scarcity of other predators. I'm sure you've seen the reason why we've gone on that on that answer. Paragraph 3. When the tigress is expecting her cubs, she seeks out a suitable den in paragraph 3. So we are told when the tigress is expecting her cubs, she seeks out in a suitable den, well hidden by thick vegetation. Okay. From there, the tigress now enjoys a view down onto a plain with a water hole that attracts other animals. She selects this spot so that she can hunt for food. Okay, shall we have enough information now? So number 1, an elevated dense forest, a low-lying thick forest, a plain near a water, a wall. So the answer is D. Number 1, well hidden. Then dumble area. So the word dumble, it simply means a place which is watery, like a swamp. That's a picture of a dumble that I can give you. Number 6, what has caused a decline in the number of tigers in the past 3 decades according to paragraph 5? Paragraph 5, where are you? So poaching has been responsible for keeping the number of tigers low during the past 3 decades. Now what is poaching? So this is illegal killing of wild animals. So in case we are given different information, we need to know the definition. So A, deforestation due to agriculture, illegal killing by man. So this is the answer, because legitimate poaching, natural, no. Number 7, paragraph 6. The Worldwide Fund for Nature has, number 6, the World Fund for Nature has been a pioneer and the largest contributor along with corporate donors and non-governmental organizations. The Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species is entrusted with, okay, we have enough info. So the Worldwide Fund for Nature has aroused be offered tremendous support towards the sustenance of tigers. So our answer is this one. Paragraph 9. In the 1970s, trade in tiger skins was paragraph 7. Let's go back to paragraph 7. So the trade in tiger skins was outlawed. I said outlawed simply means to protect using laws. So here we'll say protected by law. According to paragraph 7, scientific evidence indicates that medicine and tonics made from tiger parts dash 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 dash. So for question 9, I'll just leave it to you guys to answer. Comment in the comment section. Want to see how many have been following. Number 10, from the underlined words in the passage, find one word which means the same or nearly the same as the following. So we are like finding the synonyms. The first one from the underlined. So let's look at the underlined. So the first underlined word is carrion. We said carrion has to do with something that is decaying. After carrion, we have proficiency, the ability to become good at something. After that, we have cuddle, playing in somebody's arms to show love. Then after that, we have deep growth, that excessive emotion that shows that an animal is upset. What else? Okay, so let's move down. Then we have retribution, to take revenge. So an act taken to take revenge. Empathy, a bit to sense other people's feelings or other animals' feelings. Derivatives simply means to make something from another thing. Persistence, to continue even if the situation is not present. Efficacy, a bit to have a good result. So we have punishment, angry sounds, determined, very good skill. So here we use the proficiency because we are looking at very good skill, proficiency. So the words can maybe not be exactly the same, but we are told nearly the same. Determined, so determined we can use persistence, because for someone to persist, that person has to be determined. Angry sounds, we use the gross, where we talked about excessive sound that shows emotions. Now for the word punishment, I'm going to leave it to you so that you can share with me. Now let's move on to question 3. So under question 3, we are looking at the summary. Now, summary depends on how good are you whenever you're given a passage, a longer passage. Now, they want you to shorten it. So the best way to go about a summary is just make sure you understand the question. So for this one, I'm just going to look at how we can get the points. Then you can write your summary in your free time. So we have question 3, summary, 20 marks. Read the following passage carefully and then answer the questions that follow. Number 9, impatience has been around for a long time. There is nothing new about people losing their patience while stuck in traffic or waiting in a queue. Everyone is likely to become impatient occasionally, but there may be serious consequences when bouts of impatience are an everyday occurrence. 2, some analysts suggest that in recent years, many people are less patient because of technology. The instant results we get from this technology have in turn increased our appetite for instant gratification in different aspects. Impatience causes frustration, irritation, and even anger, which leads to raised stress levels. It also a risk factor for hypertension, even among young adults. Number 3, there are other health problems associated with lack of impatience. Researchers found that impatient individuals are more likely to be obese, than people who are good at waiting. In some areas, inexpensive fast food is easily available at all times of the day, and many impatient people cannot resist the temptation. Impatient people are likely to be chronic procrastinators. Could be that they feel compelled to postpone time-consuming tasks because they do not have patience needed to bring the tasks to completion. At any rate, the tendency to postpone can have serious consequences for the procrastinators as well as the economy. 5. The Echo, a British newspaper, reveals that people who were impatient were more likely to drink alcohol heavily and were prone to violence. This was concluded after noticing that impatient people were more involved in late-night drink-fueled violence. Such people also often made quick and shallow choices. An expert explains that impatience will cost you. It can cost your money, causing you pain and suffering on any other of consequences. Some impatient newlyweds may want to have all the comforts of home soon after wedding despite limited finances. So they buy the house, the furniture, the car, and everything else on credit. This practice can harm the marriage. Impatience, in this case, will lead to the higher debt levels. Some people have blamed impatience for causing an economic crash. For instance, thousands of ordinary people sought to borrow collective immense sums that they could not hope to repay for many years, and in some cases, ever. Number 7, when a person does not have the patience to engage in meaningful conversation, he tends to speak without thinking. He may also get annoyed when others speak. The impatient listener may tend to rush others into finishing their sentences by putting words in their mouth, and may try to find some other ways to hurry the conversation. Impatience can have many harmful consequences on the individuals. Everybody should therefore strive to be patient in order to live peacefully with others. So, we've gotten the meaning of the passage is about the negative and what may cause someone to be impatient. Now, in not more than 125 words, explain the negative consequences of impatience. So please, whenever you look at the summary, understand the question. So whenever you get the question, that is what is going to help you to now find the points in a given passage. So the question is about explain the negative consequences of what? Impatience. So we need to find the points from the passage that are talking about negative consequences. So we are not interested in what is causing and what is causing, yes. Our interest is the consequence of impatience. The summary has been studied for impatience has a wide range of negative consequences. So I have these words that I use that can help you to identify the points. So fun, we will focus on the sentences that will have the word for, a and, any, no, b, but, or, why, yet, s, so. So most of the points have at least one of these words. So now let's go back to number 1. Impatience has been around for a long time. There is nothing new about people losing their patience while stuck in traffic or wait in a queue. Everyone is likely to become impatient occasionally, but there may be serious consequences when bouts of impatience are an everyday occurrence. So, from paragraph 1, no point. Let's go to paragraph 2. Some analysts suggest that in recent years, many people are less patient because of technology. This is not a point because they are telling us what may be the cause. The instant results we get from this technology have in turn increased our appetite, for instant gratification in different aspects. Impatience causes frustration. So we have the answer. Impatience causes frustration, irritation, and even anger, which led to raised stress levels. So you can see from this point we have the word "and" from the fanboys. It also a risk factor for hypertension, so point 2, for hypertension and even among young adults. So from this we have the word "for." Let's go to 3. There are other health problems associated with the lack of patience. Researchers found that impatient individuals are more likely to be obese than people who are good at waiting. So the other negative impact here is are likely to be obese than people who are good at waiting. In some areas, inexpensive fast food is easily available at all times of the day, and many impatient people cannot resist the temptation. So, because you don't have that ability to wait, you may be forced to eat whatever that you found there. Number 4, impatient people are likely to be chronic procrastinators. So this is another point. Could be that they feel compelled to postpone time-consuming tasks because they do not have the patience needed to bring the tasks to completion. At any rate, the tendency to postpone can have serious consequences for procrastinators as well as the economy. So procrastination simply means delaying in doing something that you are supposed to do. For example, if you have a target to study today and you keep on saying, I'm going to do it tomorrow, I'm going to do it maybe on Friday next week, so that is being a procrastinator, like you are not doing what you're supposed to do. Now, number 5, The Echo, a British newspaper, reveals that people who were impatient were more likely to drink alcohol. Okay, so to drink alcohol every day, and were prone to violence. So we have the word "and." This was concluded after noticing that impatient people were more involved in late night drink-fueled violence. Such people also often made quick and shallow choices. So this is a point. It's a negative. Quick and shallow choices. We have the word "and." An expert explains that impatient will cost you. It can cost you money, okay? Causing you pain and suffering or any number of consequences. So this is also a point. Number 6, some impatient newlyweds may want to have all the comfort of a home soon after the wedding despite limited finances. So they buy the house, the furniture, the car, and everything else on credit. So the negative impact is buying something on credit because you can't wait for the right time. This practice can harm the marriage. Impatient in this case will lead to high debt levels some people have. So this here is not important because they are just explaining credit. So you can now maybe summarize it as well. So from here up to here, they are just explaining that. So avoid explaining. Number 7, when a person does not have the patience to engage in meaningful conversation, he tends to speak without thinking. So another, without thinking. He may also get annoyed, okay? This is also very important. It's a negative. Getting annoyed when someone is speaking is very negative. The impatient may, okay, so even these points here, they are very important, but they are just trying to explain when someone is speaking. Impatient can have. So those are the points. So if maybe I've forgotten one or two, please write in the comment section below. Now, under your summary, some rules that you need to make sure: you are allowed to use the shortened words, like the word do not, you can use don't. But in composition, it's not advisable to use the shortened. Have not, we can use haven't. Are not, we can use aren't. Then the other rule on this one is do not copy the exact sentences from the paragraph and transfer them on your summary. So when writing on your summary, use your own English, because this is about you now. So use your own English, then stick to the number of required words. Then at last I can say, if possible, I'll leave my phone number in the comment section below. For those that may want to share their answers, you can just forward them on my WhatsApp line. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.